Greetings, loved ones. We are Nathan. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak this evening. We come at a time on your planet when there appears to be great turmoil on the surface. Yet, as you've learned earlier this evening, below the surface, there is much activity that nobody's aware of. This is the activity that your team is now invoking. As Piri and the fairies said earlier, they're looking for connections with us, to partner with us, as we have with you, to bring in more light, more momentum to the planet. The sun is now appearing above your horizon, so to speak. In other words, it is always darkest before the dawn, before the first glint of sunlight of the sunrise, so to speak. The darkness is dispelling from all of you. If you doubt yourself, if you judge yourself, if you are too hard on yourself because you couldn't see the light even though you were working so hard to bring it in, know now that the dawn is appearing. Many things are going to change very soon. Your way of life will be much different 5 years from now than it is today. But hearken not in despair, for there is nothing to fear. The change is one of beauty and majesty. In Eden, again, if you will, on this planet, you, along with us and all of our friends below, are ushering in a new age, an age where you'll be able to choose your life's path based on your soul's blueprint, but do it with integrity, with tolerance, cooperation. The list goes on. Unity consciousness, love. So many naysayers believe that competition is the only way forward. Competition has been the hallmark of humanity's history, ushered in many things it has, but also it is limited. The rebalancing, as we've said to you before, between masculine and feminine energies is upon us. Balance. Balance is the key. Relax into your gifts now. As the elemental said to Ari, don't try so hard. Just relax. And mark our words, the dawn is appearing. You'll understand much more as a group, as your gifts turn on, so to speak. When you look back, you'll realize how it was always at your fingertips. You just had to learn a few lessons of letting go of false belief systems, false understandings, all of which is not your fault. It's just you work with a mind that is inundated with information. It comes from so many different sources, yet none of it has pure truth to it. So, in other words, you've been working with what you were given. It's amazing how far all of you have come. But it's also through sheer determination. You do not dither. You feel what is right in your hearts and you follow it. And this is now the culmination point. This group will go much higher. And not figuratively either. Great work is ahead. Humanity needs your assistance. In fact, there'll be more work than you know what to do with. But that will be the joy in your future, which is utilizing the gifts to assist those who want to help themselves. And in turn, they will start to help others themselves. A mass momentum will build. And that momentum will launch the Earth into 5D. If you've ever wondered, the Earth is okay. Her destruction is not imminent. In fact, quite the opposite. Like some of your animals on planet Earth, there comes a time to shed your skin. A lobster cannot grow without exiting its exoskeleton. And this is what we're all doing right now. Exiting the old skeletons of what got us to this point, knowing full well you're exposed for a while. And not in a bad way. It's just you're a little soft when you come out of a hard shell until your surface starts to harden again. There's nothing to fear. We're not discussing being attacked. This is not the point of what we're saying. It's just to help you understand that, like a butterfly comes with a cocoon, there's a moment of vulnerability. That vulnerability is not just because the caterpillar that is now transformed into a butterfly is wet and soft and its wings are not quite ready yet for flight until they dry out. It's more deeper than that. It's a realization and an acceptance that you have fundamentally changed, that you are now a different being, beyond human in some ways. On the surface, you will look the same in a mirror, but below the surface, a completely different being is transforming. So when you feel a little discombobulated, tired, or perhaps what Matthew went through today, accept it and do what Matthew learned in a video as he was experiencing these physical so-called ailments, more side effects of ailments is the best way we would put it. Simply let yourself remind yourself that whatever you're feeling is just a part of the transition, that everything is okay, and then send love to it. What the video Matthew found that was helpful was close your eyes, scan your body, find what it is that's troubling you or seems to be a little off, rate it on a scale of 0 to 10 and how it feels to you in severity, and irregardless of what the number is, then focus on your heart center and imagine white light coming from it of love, pure love. and send it to that section of the body that seems to be troubling you. And just focus love on it. Imagine some of the happiest moments of your life, whatever they may be. Use those memories to your advantage. It will increase the light coming through your heart center. That light will focus on that area of the body, and it will help greatly. It's not about changing something, shooing something away. It is simply sending it love as recognition that you are one complete being. That if one part of you is out of alignment, the whole is out of alignment, so to speak, and all must walk together. And so when a portion of you is a little bit off, following this technique shows that portion of your body and gives that part of your body the love that it desires, the recognition that it's not alone, and it will dissipate. This is how Matthew came out of his experience much quicker than he normally would have. Are there any questions?
I have a question for you.
Please.
I'm thinking about what I'd like to do is spend more of my day in 5D. How do I move out of my job so I can do this work 24/7?
We would say you've already demonstrated that earlier in the session today. Your ease of connection to the vibrations that you're associating yourself with would be very helpful to other human beings.
And how would I get that out to them?
We want to say social media, however, we feel that the community that you're in, once you declare that you're available, and not so much by standing on a soapbox or posting something on a social app, but more declaring to yourself that you're willing to do this work as your primary source of focus. Right now, you have a foot in both camps. Neither one can go anywhere because you need 2 feet to move in a single direction. In other words, a foot in either world is fine. You can straddle the line, but it's limiting. We understand it's difficult to leave jobs that pay, jobs that are familiar. This doesn't mean you have to quit. Pick a day of the week, any day, one day. Just start, as we say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So pick one day out of 7, and it could be your day off, and declare that day to yourself as sacred to reading for other human beings. At first, it will start slowly, but in your community, we sense word will spread that there's a special lady, and you can only get her on Saturday afternoons. And it will create a momentum that will spill into, oh my goodness, Puri has to now pick 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Momentum picks up, and then the other job that you have can fall by the wayside if that's what you so choose.
And that's beautiful because that's kind of what they've showed me too. I've had somebody who just recently contacted me out of the blue to do a house clearing. Is that a direction that I should be heading?
Absolutely. Wherever you go, your light chases away the bad guys. Absolutely.
Do you feel like where I'm going to go to this house, they're bad guys?
No, it was just a moment of jest on our part.
I know. I was just wondering.
No, no. In fact, let us scan it. The house has no bad mojo. It's, in fact, what you'll be doing is inviting in the elementals. In fact, suggest that they put a fairy house on the front lawn and watch how their lives transform. So, in other words, you're not clearing a house of cobwebs, you're merely opening up the windows and doors and showing somebody how to let the fresh air in.
That's the feeling I got too. So thank you.
Our gratitude as well. Are there any other questions? If not, then we thank you for your time this evening.
Oh, I have a question about my back tooth that just cracked.
By all means, what is the question about your ruptured tooth?
What's the significance of it?
Stress. You grind your teeth at night. We're going to scan you. You, like Piri, have a foot in both worlds. And the stress that we're referring to earlier is your spirit, your soul, your essence is already in the new world, so to speak, but the body is lagging behind. This is not abnormal. The body is a physical manifestation of your thought patterns. In other words, you're in a deep sleep in spirit and you're dreaming this experience. And the body is a solid piece of matter, but very dense. So your spirit, your thoughts, your energies, they move very quickly when decisions are made, but the body will lag a little bit behind. And as Matthew's experienced, it took years for his body to agree to move forward. This is about conditioning, most of which is not your fault. It's just the way it is on this planet. And so you're grinding your teeth at night because it's as if, I just want to get going here. And the body is resisting to a certain extent. But again, nothing to worry about. Seek attention for the tooth if it needs repairing. Matthew is also saying there's also mouth guards available from dentists if you want to have one fitted to help with the grinding of teeth.
I have one.
Used before.
Yeah, I have a mouth guard.
Okay.
Still cracking.
We would suggest the same exercise we spoke about earlier, which is when you have a private moment, close your eyes. Maybe you can do this once a day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be long. But you do a body scan on yourself. Start from the head, top of the crown, and go right down to the body. And simply ask a question as you scan through your body. Is anything feeling out of alignment? Does anything feel tense or creaky or stiff or pulsating or whatever the feeling may be? And when you find something, just focus on it. Follow the protocol for sending it love as we described earlier. This will help. It'll help to encourage the body that you're serious about this change. Again, one of the things about the body is it carries a tremendous amount of memory. And it's always memory of things of the past. Falling down, tripping, being hit, having an accident, physical things. The body's fearful of being hurt. And it knows that energetically, as you transition, vibrations will come into you. This is part of channeling. This is what all of you enjoy and are gifted at. The body doesn't get to escape the experience, so to speak. In fact, it's front and center because it feels that energy coming through. And something to be aware of. It fears it, but it fears it because it thinks it's going to die. In other words, the vibration of your being, your physical being, is not at the same height as a being that has been disembodied, in other words, a spirit. They're much higher, but they're higher because they don't have a body anymore, and it's a natural vibration level of the soul. When a soul comes into the body, it can only vibrate to a certain level. Any higher, the body gets destroyed because the atoms get shaken apart, so to speak. So as you increase your vibration levels, Nancy, your body lags behind a little bit, but also drags its feet a little because it's like, oh God, what's going to happen to us? Because when it feels the vibrations of a higher being come in, it's very similar to the vibration that it feels the moment your soul separates from the body. In other words, the moment of your mortality. And the body is well aware of this. It's in its DNA. Irregardless of what body you have, all bodies have that switch, so to speak. So as you vibrate higher and you start to do your work and you bring in new beings to speak through you, your vibration levels go up artificially for a short period of time because your body has to, and your being has to heighten this vibration level as high as it can go, and the being that you channel must come down its vibration a little bit to meet you in the middle, but it's still a high vibration. It freaks the body out a little bit. Matthew's experience today of being extremely fatigued and even to a certain degree ill didn't cause him too great concern, but only because he's had enough experience now to expect this. But when it's new, it can be, we don't want to use the word scary, but it can be a little bit unsettling. And so your tooth is just didn't want to go around for the ride and was just helping you understand that you're making progress and there's just a little bit more work to do, but it will come for you. Does this answer your question?
Thank you.
Our pleasure. And it is our sincere gratitude to support each and every one of you. Are there any other questions we can be of assistance of tonight? We thank you for your time. We give you back Matthew. Whew.